Let's head back to the voicemail of Truth and Reason.
I think this past season really showed me something. First of all, Deshaun Watson is accident prone. The way he plays, he's always going to be out part of the season for some injury and can't deal with that. And the other thing it showed me was Joe Flacco still got some in the tank. And personally, I would try to trade Deshaun Watson and go with Flacco. I know it's controversial, but whatever. We could still get 3 good years out of Flacco. And if you trade Deshaun Watson, the cap money we'd save, you could hire 5, 7, 10 good players with what you'd save on him. And the other thing is we'd get back a draft prospect. I hope they don't draft a wide receiver because they couldn't hit one with any of their picks. They do better with the drafting corners and safeties. All right. Love you. Love the Browns.
As always, appreciate all the voicemails. Let's welcome in Casey Kinman from Dog Pound Daily Network 216. Casey, there'd be a dead cap hit because of the guaranteed contract. But I just want to point, 2018, 2019, 2020, Deshaun Watson didn't miss a game in his second, third, and fourth years with the Texans. He did tear his ACL in a non-contact injury that ended his rookie season, and he got banged up last year. A little bit of bad luck. I mean, yes, he needs to be on the field more. I wouldn't go down the Joe Flacco road. I would love him as a backup, but if you're expecting a guy in his 40s to survive 18 games or 17 games in an NFL schedule, I'm not sure I want to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I get where the caller's coming from. Like, it felt like he was snake bitten last year, but as you pointed out, that's not who he's been throughout his career. He hasn't been injury prone. I am more concerned about this injury and him coming back and how it affects his play style than I am just, reoccurring, just getting injured here and there. But I do believe, given that you're in your winning window and given that he is coming off a unprecedented injury, it's not like an ACL where we can say, oh, that's 9 months, or a torn Achilles where he'll probably be ready to go, but it'll be the year after when we find out if he gets back to his, his healthy self. This is unprecedented. So I do think you need to insulate and get a backup quarterback that you can count on for a stretch if you need to. This is the NFL, and when you're allocating that much of your cap to one player, to a quarterback, you can't turn around and, give a big chunk, to a backup quarterback. So they have to be smart and they have to navigate this. They made their bed, though. Like you pointed out, the dead cap would be devastating to trade him. So they this is where they're at. They made their bed. They got to lie in it now. And like you said, it's all about him getting back on the field and staying on the field. And if that happens, we're not worried about who the backup is or what Joe Flacco can do for 3 seasons.
Yeah, the other thing is he's. I don't want to see him. I get the caller's point. I don't want to see him taking hits. Get out of bounds. Get the yardage. Get out of bounds. You're more valuable than an extra 2 or 3 yards. And the other thing, we talked about it earlier in the show. Mary Kay Cabot, had mentioned Patriots are interested in Flacco as a bridge quarterback, which means they're probably looking at drafting a developmental type guy in this year's draft. So you're going to have competition for him anyway.